The heaven of Eucharist when mounting to heaven on the day of the Ascension. Jesus Christ went to take possession of his glory and to prepare a place for us. With him redeemed humanity enters heaven. We know that it is no longer closed to us, and we live in the expectation of the day on which its portals will open to us. This hope sustains and encourages us. It should in itself be sufficient to make us lead a Christian life in order not to lose it, and we should be willing to endure for it all kinds of trials. Our Lord, however, to keep alive in us and to render more efficacious the hope of heaven, to make us await patiently its glory, and to conduct us thereto, created the beautiful heaven of the Eucharist. Ah, the Eucharist is a beautiful heaven. Heaven commenced. Is it not Jesus glorified coming from heaven to earth, and bringing heaven with him? Is not heaven everywhere that Jesus is? His state in the Eucharist, although veiled to our senses, is glorified, triumphant, beatified. He is no more of life's miseries, and when we communicate, we receive heaven, since we receive Jesus, who makes all the happiness and glory of paradise. What glory for a subject to entertain his King! We are thus glorified, for we receive the King of heaven. Jesus comes to us that we may not forget our true country, or better still, that by thinking of it we may languish with desire for it and with weariness of our exile. He comes and remains corporally in our heart as long as the sacrament lasts. Then, the species destroyed, he mounts again to heaven, though still abiding in us by his grace and by his presence of love. Why does he not remain actually longer? Because the condition of his corporeal presence is the integrity of the sacred species. Jesus coming to us brings with him the fruits and flowers of paradise. What are those fruits and flowers? I know not. We do not see them, but we perceive their perfume. He brings to us his glorified merits, his sword victorious over Satan. He brings to us his arms, that we may defend ourselves with them. His merits, that we may join our own to them by making them fructify. The Eucharist is the ladder, not of Jacob, but of Jesus, who by it continually ascends to heaven and descends to earth for our sake. Jesus is incessantly journeying to us. Romans 2. But behold, what are especially the heavenly gifts that Jesus brings us when we receive him. First, glory. True, the glory of the saints, and the blessed is a flower that expands only in the sun of paradise and under the glance of God. But this brilliant glory we cannot have on earth, for men would adore us. But we receive its hidden germ, which contains it whole and entire, as the seed contains the ear of wheat. The Eucharist stores away in us the leaven of the resurrection, the matter for special and more brilliant glory. Sown in the corruptible flesh, it will shine upon our body resuscitated and immortal. Secondly, happiness. Our soul, entering into heaven, will see itself put in possession, without fear of loss or diminution, of the happiness of God himself. But in communion, do we not receive something of this true happiness? It is not given to us entire, for fear that, if it were, we would no longer think of heaven. But with what sweet peace, with what sweet joy are we not inundated after communion? The more the soul is disengaged from earthly affections, the more she tastes this happiness. There are some souls so happy after communion that even their body participates in it. Lastly, the blessed share in the power of God. He who communicates with a great desire to be united to Jesus feels only sovereign contempt for all that is not worthy of his divinized affections. He rises above all that is earthly, and that is true power. Then it is that communion makes the soul mount to God. Prayer is defined as an ascension of the soul to God. But what is prayer compared to Holy Communion? How far is that ascension of thought and desire from that sacramental ascension to which Jesus raises us with himself to the bosom of God? The eagle, to accustom its young to fly to the highest regions of the air, when giving to them their food, holds it far above them, and, rising as the young birds near it, makes them insensibly ascend higher and higher. And so does Jesus, the divine eagle, act toward us. He comes to us, bringing us the nourishment of which we have need, and then mounts, inviting us to follow him. He loads us with delights that we may long for the joys of heaven. He accustoms us to the thought of heaven. When you possess Jesus in your heart, do you not desire paradise and feel contempt for earth? You would wish to die then and there, the sooner to be united to God forever. He who communicates very rarely has no lively desire for God, and he fears death. This fear is not in itself bad, but if you were certain of going straight to heaven, you would not want to remain 1/4 of an hour longer on earth and 1/4 of an hour in heaven. You can testify more love to God and glorify Him more than during the longest life. In this way, then, does communion prepare us for heaven. What a great grace to die after having received holy viaticum. I know that perfect contrition justifies us and gives us a right to heaven, but how much better to go in company with Jesus and to be judged by His love, still united, so to speak, with His sacrament of love. It is for this reason that the Church wishes her priests to administer holy viaticum even at the last moment to the well-disposed penitent, even if he should already have lost the use of his senses. So anxious is this good mother that her children should not depart till well provided for the terrible journey. Let us often beg the grace of receiving the holy viaticum before dying. It will be the pledge of our eternal happiness. St. Chrysostom assures us in his book on the priesthood that the angels attend the departure from the body of those souls that have just communicated. On account of that divine sacrament, they surround and accompany them like satellites up to the throne of God.